Yeah.
Yeah, we're just off to the Cook Islands.
They're back on.
Do you want to take the ball down the plate?
You left us. Yeah. Oh, it's a theme song.
Sorry, I was trying to get a bit closer.
Oh, you want to bring them closer?
I was trying to. Oh!
Can you guys see everyone? No. Okay, everyone's getting summoned in now, team. We're starting. Just one person. Can one person speak, please? Can you hear me? Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
That's a great angle. Genuine.
Anyone can start us off. That would be cool. Compared to the time. Yeah, usually at these five they do I don't know. But you can just say yeah. Get down.
After you, Uncle. I nominate Chris. Where can I see you guys?
Okay, we're going. We're going to talk about the guys. Do you want to know who won the Yeah. Who? Chris. Okay, you
Popped his face.
Okay,
Hi, Krishna. How are you, Krishna?
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Pop.
Hi, Krishna.
So, just that Fish Fun's going to be really, really missed. He's a beautiful, beautiful person. We always had loved you all, by the way. She would always talk about you guys. Yeah, she's one in a million. I was very lucky when I first met Wayne. That Christmas we went to Paul's and Mum and Cookie were there and we hit it off straight away really. And I was very lucky that she took me under her wing as one of her own. And I'm pretty sure that's what she does with everybody. She's just beautiful, and I will miss her dearly.
But get out better. Well, kia ora whānau. Bring all our love from up north down to you guys. And just want to acknowledge Tommy and Robbie that couldn't be here and they send their love to you all. They really said they couldn't make it. Also bringing that Gerald from cousin from Edwards and his wife Karen. They've been fighting a pretty big battle with Karen's cancer this year. We nearly lost her. So he just sends his apologies and love to you all and says he would have loved to have been here but can't. And yeah, I think often of Auntie Val and I just have memories of 6 Craig Place with her on her little telephone table with their legs crossed and on the phone and yakking away and just like that. And more recently, however, we spent time with Auntie Val on Thursday, and it's her laugh. It's so infectious. And you've heard that word titter, and when I hear, I just always think of her laugh, and I think of that word. It's like this little joyful little giggle, and it just makes you laugh. And whenever I think of her, I just always think of that laugh and just crack out. So, Auntie Val, we love you. We will really, really miss you. And give your mum and dad a nice day. But love you, Father. Next.
Yeah, feel privileged to be able to be here and share with you. You've gone through this journey with us when we went through, and I'll just appreciate, we feel the love. We feel the love. Auntie Val features in some of my childhood traumas and some of my. She's a star player in my life. I have memories of her laughing heartily, and it really came from her heart. And there's also, times where I've been blessed with the acid of her tongue, and but I mean, one of those memories where I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I'd been down staying, and she made me chow mein, which Mum never made us chow mein. Chow mein to me was a place in China. I didn't know what it was, and she gave it to me, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And I was trying to eat it, and I was really struggling. And a big lecture about starving children in Ethiopia. And Paul's sitting over there scoffing at us to crack. And it was just one of those. But then, she would just also see you, and she could laugh, and she could smile, and she could look at you, and she had the ability to truly uplift you in a moment. And I remember running into her in stores and Millers, and she'd just see me, she'd go, "Oh, Raywin." She'd laugh, and she was, "You're always smiling." I'm thinking, I'm smiling because you're smiling, and you're making me feel really happy, and I'm smiling with you. Auntie Val was someone for me who challenged my boundaries, and that can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, but it's always an experience of growth, and for that I'm really appreciative, because she helped to develop the person I am today. She knew me when I was born, she knew me when I was a kid, she knew me when I was a teenager, she knew all of me. And you know, when I'm getting to this point in time of my life, there are a few constant people like that in my life who knew me when I was a kid, who knew me before I was born. And I really appreciate her place in my life, what I learned from her. She's such a resilient woman. When I know her story, I just have such admiration for her. And she was just such a huge part of my life. And I'm running out of those people. I'm running out of those people in my life. So I'm very thankful. You are. You are. And I'm thankful for that too. But, you know, getting less and less on that side of my life. So I'm thankful for her and the part she played in my life. And I'm thankful for all of you. Love to you all. Robbie definitely sends us love, and our girls send their love too. They just say, pass on their love to everybody. Sorry, we're not there.
Does anyone know who the oldest one in the family is?
Which family?
David.
Your family.
Oh.
Yeah. Who now? Who? Yeah. Who's it? Oh, no, yeah, Nan's kids. Andy Karen. Oh, cool. The only one I can do that.
Thank you. Thanks, Mel. I remember that. Ooh, I'm not really a speaker, but anyway, it's just family here tonight, so that's the main thing, and it's all about sharing about Nan. Good old Nan. What can I say? Actually, I was talking to Cousin Ben over there, and we were talking about back in Australia. Nan lived, I think, off Maroonga Road at a little unit where you'd have to go around, come off the main road, go down the back, and she had a little unit. Anyway, I'd always rock up there at whatever day time, and she'd always be one to say, "Are you hungry, Charlie? All right, I'll make you something." And she'll just like pick anything out of the fridge or whatever she's got in the cupboard, and she'll whip you up something, you know, good and hearty. That's who Nan was. If you ever came and visited her, she always had to have something ready for you, right? And you know, conversations with Nan, it was like Australian weather. There were so many seasons in one conversation. There would always be, you know, she would always need to get something off her chest, or you know, then she would have a little cry, and then she would, you know, we'd end it on a good note, right? I'd always say something silly or stupid to make her laugh, and she'd always say, "Thank you, Charlie. You always make me laugh." And I'm like, well, can you tell everyone else that? Really, I'm not the only one. But probably the funniest story that I've got of Nan is when I came back a couple of years ago. I'm 50 now, right? So 48 years of age, I come back and I stay with Nan and Pop at their place for a couple of weeks over Chrissy. And she lives in like units. There's like 3 or 4 units in a row. And I could see this Pākehā lady walking past, and then she would go stay at the unit. And, you know, Nan knew everybody. She'd always go out, and everyone was coming over to Nan's place. Anyway, she comes back and she goes, "Oh, Charlie." I was speaking to her. I don't know what her name was. She goes, "Oh." And I was telling her, "Oh, my granddaughter's here visiting." And she goes, "Huh? Oh, my granddaughter, you would have seen her in the unit." And she goes, "Oh, I thought she was a Kira because she's Chinese." And then she's not Asian. I go, "Nan, Dad was half Chinese." Oh, that made her laugh. I never, she was cracking up. "Oh, Charlie." Hello. How can you not see that everyone else can see? Anyway, I love you, Nan. I'm
miss you dearly. Yeah.
And the phone call.
And the phone calls. I'd never spoken to her so much in the last few months. She liked it. She liked anyone to give her a call, you know. Yeah. I'm going to miss those conversations, man. I love you. Oh, you say because you're my favorite. Oh.
I was trying to like think about what I was gonna say. But just hearing parts of Nan's life. For me, my childhood was in Ruakaka. So if you know that place, well, I'm sure everyone's been there. So if you knew, there was probably Uncle Mickey, then it went Uncle Mark, or no, Uncle Mickey, Papa, and then Uncle Mark. But during Papa's stay there, in my school holidays, all I wanted to do was go up north, and there wasn't really much to do up there, but as long as I was out of my house, I was happy. And with that came getting to spend time with my great grandparents as well. So there was one day when I was just at home with Nan, and then my Nan, so Nana Anna, and she was like, "Bub, I'll give you some money, eh?" And I'm like, "Yep, yes, please." And then she's like, "I'll give you some money to go over to Nan's and clean her house." And I'm like, "Oh, say less." So I went over. Well, if you know Nan just came to have a cordial, like how everyone said, so I probably spent the whole day just talking to Nan. Doing no cleaning. And I'm like, "Oh, Nan, I better go back and check on my other Nan." And she's like, "Okay, but bye." And I went back. "Oh, done the cleaning, Nan." Oh, good girl. I'm like, "Oh, thank you." Didn't pay me, but the matter is that like all the memories of Ruakaka, I think for me was a very big privilege to have my great grandparents in my life on both sides of my family, and to be able to share. Because like every time you drive up north, you had to stop into Flydra Road. It was a must-have, and that was something that was embedded in me, and I'm very grateful for. I will always miss those memories. Love that, buddy. Love. I think that's also like high key goals to be able to share a family plot or share a land plot with your whānau. Because before finishing up in that whare, we had our last Christmas there. Where everyone just tented, camped, and then yeah, that was awesome. My favorite core memory. So to you, Nan, love you heaps. Gonna miss our little cordials. Gonna miss being able to come in and stop in and see you. But glad that you are at peace now. Love you, pups. Love you heaps, as just because Nan's gone, you will never be forgotten. I think it's just for us young ones a reminder to check on our whānau that are still living. Yeah, love you heaps. He hey, baby, all that. I'm gonna go back to my uncle.
Oh, yeah.
Jenny, I hope you don't get avoided, but I only got one little story I'd like to share on memory of Nan. When I first moved to Aussie, we used to go out and drink a lot, me and Josh, and we took Nan with us one time. Started at the Rusty Shovel, wound up at Sal's, and then somehow got into the White House.
This one, not those.
In the White House, and there was two bouncers always previous life. Right? But they wondered who we were bringing with us, so we introduced and said, "This is our Nan. Can you make sure you look after her?" But they never forgot it. It was one of the best nights I had with Nan. Cheers for that, Nan. I always enjoyed my drinks with you, and especially our banter. You were one of the sharpest ladies I've ever known. You could give it just as much as I could give it to you. And if I chucked in a few swear words, you would just laugh in there. But I will always miss that. Love you. Kia ora.
Well, when I was born into the family, it was mostly girls that were older than me, and so I was pretty much the oldest grandson, and there weren't really many grandsons for a little while after. So I was surrounded mostly by women. I was pretty blessed. Nan took a liking to me, and early on, she knew what I liked. I liked reading books, and she gave me the name Garfield because I liked comic books, including Garfield. And so it was pretty good to spend a lot of time with Nan. And I remember she was part of my plot to move to Australia. I didn't know I was moving there. I was only going there for a couple of months, I thought. I was adamant, but she thankfully said yes, and she agreed to let me and stay with her in Cliff in Sydney, and it reminded me that I hadn't really had someone call me so many times, just asking me what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to be home for dinner, what time I'm going to be home for dinner, and I just couldn't really take it. And in 2 weeks, I found a place to stay. I never went back to her. I only just sometimes to visit, but I didn't want to call her just in case it turned into a longer conversation. I have to explain myself and my life. And I didn't really have all the answers. But being related to Nan was like, you're never just you. You're either Peter Russell's son or you're Lisa's brother. And so if you get stuck on a phone call with her, it's like, it's not just really about you. It's 1 minute about you. And then it's who she's really looking for. And what she really wanted to say to that person. And then another person you're related to, your dad or whoever else. And by the way, did you know where so-and-so it was? And yeah, and so sometimes we kind of lost her number. Sometimes we didn't pull into Flighters Road. And that was a bit of a tumultuous time. I thought, coming home and bringing back all those memories of phone calls and stuff. But, our relationship got better when she moved to Auckland, and it was a change in her life. And I don't know, I got to be the person that got to go over and just cook for her and make her laugh. And, I didn't have to deal with any drama. I mean, we had great conversations. Sometimes it was deep and meaningful. Sometimes it was just a whole lot of rubbish. But it was just fun, and we just enjoyed our time together. I'm really thankful that she opened up as life progressed with us, and she started to tell a lot of stories about who she was as a person and where she came from, what she went through, which we never got to see that side of her when we were younger. And I guess she was just making peace with the life that she'd lived. And I was just really proud to be her grandson in her life and loved by her, and to be able to love her back. I'll hand it over to Kalapia.
Sorry, say that name again.
Your name. Your name.
Feels sad. Hi everybody. So thankful in this day and age that we have the technology to be able to be with everyone. So sorry that I can't be there in person. But wow, I look really amazing. But doesn't stop how much, I love seeing everyone and being able to be with everyone during this time. And thinking of you all. Man, just hearing everybody's stories about Nan, I think is so fitting because Nan always had the stories about everybody else. Just like Uncle Shannon said, you'd go there, you'd have a cup of tea, or, you'd see Nan for a short while and you'd manage to be able to catch up on everybody's life. She knew all the tea. She knew all the secrets. And that meant that quite often everybody else did too. But I loved hearing them and I was here for it. But yeah, I loved the moments with Nan and I really miss her. Thankful that even after Papa passed, that we had piece of him as well through her. Yeah, that's me. Love you, Pop. Thinking of you. I'll come and say hello when I'm home. Cool. Passing it over to Ethan. Ethan Lemon, are you in the room?
He's not yet.
Oh. I'm passing it over to Uncle Ben. I'm passing it over to my Uncle Ben. My favorite Uncle Ben is all you.
Well, I actually knew Nan before we were an item. That's how far I said yes. I said that. One thing I remember about Nan is she always kept the house immaculate. It's true. Took pride in things she had. And yeah, she would always make us feed. Always make sure we were okay when we came to see her at night. And very active. I remember Nan used to do a lot of walking. Very independent. And she was always fair to me. As a son-in-law in this family, she always treated, well, she always, I always knew she loved me in her way. I always remember all the good times then, even though I can't remember all of them right now because I'm nervous. But I'll never forget you, man. You used to always hold a special place in your heart for my mum and my nana. And that's what I was saying in the beginning. That's how far back our families went. A very special lady. And each Wayne and Paul and Grace and all of you are blessed to have your mum this long, yeah, she's a very special lady, and I miss you a lot, man. With all my heart.
For those cats, it's the fire my over. Give it to me, give it to me. I'm really glad that I've come back. Really, been way too long, and she was my mum too. I actually spent more time with mum and dad of John and Cliffy than I did with my own parents growing up and living overseas. Yeah, we've had our ups and downs. Favourite daughter-in-law, not favourite daughter-in-law. Favourite daughter-in-law, not so favourite ex-daughter-in-law. But, you know, mum was mum. She was always mum to me. And yeah, it's been, gosh, 44 years. A long time. She's going to be dearly missed by all of us, I know that. But yeah, it's a big part of my heart too, with her passing. And then she brought Papa Cliff in. And I had a little story. I don't know which one of you we were talking about it today. Krishna, you were online. I remember Krishna ringing me. Auntie, yes. Do you know Nan's got a boyfriend? And I went, yes. And she goes, well, how come I wasn't told? Who is he? And I said, oh, Cliffy. She met him in Australia. He worked at the RSA, collecting the glasses. You know, to Cliffy, he just made mum so happy. She had been on her own for a long time, and she met Cliffy, cheeky little Cliffy, who gave her so many headaches. But, you know, Cliff, thank you for loving our mum. And I know she loved you too, with all her heart. Gosh, honestly, I've got so many stories, and some of them I can't tell. Some of them, yeah. But I know that when she would come down and we would make sure we'd given Cliffy his dinner, and he'd be like, come on, we're going to go to the casino. Or come on, let's go up the Cosy Club. And off we go, because she wanted to have just a little Chardonnay. And she was a tinner at winning all the meat raffles at the Cosy Club. There was not one time we come home and she hasn't won the meat pack. Or the jackpot on the pokies. Yeah. Chris and I was around time, she's like, here you go. Whatever she got to.
Very generous. She was always generous. And just, you know, the years when we were younger, going up north, going to Uncle Sid and Auntie Margaret's on a Friday night, turn up there and stay for the weekend and have mince. There was always a pot of mince. And I remember Mum would say, I don't think Margaret knows how to cook anything else. But that was the thing, is because as long as the pot of mince was on the stove, the kids were fed.
then we could do whatever, you know. That was like, the kids were always fed. And then, yeah, a lot of memories, a lot of happy times. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really gonna miss mum. But she's at peace now, and I know, you know, she's not in any pain. And I know that the last few years with Cliffy have been good years. Real good years. That's me. Who's next? Don't all look away. Someone who's looking out the window. Thanks, Sean. Come over here, come here, nice. I missed a bit of it, but lovely to hear everybody get up and say something, you know. Our mum was just full of words, as it's been said. She was full of laughter, full of jokes, full of some serious talks, and full of these things when we were growing up. There was this jolly instance, that fellow over there, and they're living at Peyton Place, and for some reason, I don't know, we were punching on down in the kitchen, and next minute Mum was out with the stick and the broom and the blooming pot and whacking me on the head, and I said, what about this fella? Favouritism, mate. But she favoured all of us as siblings. There was some really, really awesome times, and as a blended family, you know, I've had friends that I've met in my lifetime, and they said, man, your family's unreal. Really is, you know, you come from a blended family, but when they get amongst us, they said, man, wish our family was like your family. I said, yeah, but we have some bad times too, you know, but in amongst it, there's always a calmness, and there's always a love, and that really comes through from Mum, because Dad was a really hard man, and as some of our cousins know, and it was hard and difficult for us when he passed away. And I was sharing with our sister earlier on that it was something that I just wanted to share with everybody as a part of this healing process, and that was Mum's last moments here. And it was, you know, between 7 and 7:15 the other morning, and we heard her in the room getting up, so I got up, and Virginia went to the room, and she was going to go to the toilet. So I went to the kitchen to get her spray, the morphine spray, because it was good to administer that before she did anything, just to help her with her breathing. She only got to the end of the bed, and she sat down, and I gave her one puff of the spray to the left-hand side, inside her mouth. She goes, Ma, I can't breathe, can't breathe. So I gave her another puff of the spray, and she was just going, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. So I gave her a third puff of the spray, and I'm thinking, man, am I giving her too much? And the night before, I was sitting there reading a pamphlet on things to help her when she was struggling with breathing. She had a little fan there, so Virginia was holding her on one side, and I was on the other side, and I had this little fan, you know, in front of her face. And she just kept going, oh, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And Pop was lying in the bed there. And then she just let forward. And I could hear that oxygen thing really pumping away. And I really felt the heaviness of her body. And I didn't realise at that moment
And I said to Virginia, oh, let's lie flat on the bed. So we picked her up, and had to ask Dad to get out of the bed so we can put Mum flat on the bed. And I kept looking at her, and one eye was open, and I could see inside her mouth, and I was feeling on her wrist for a pulse. And I said to Virginia, ring the ambulance. And this lady was talking to us over the phone, and we said, she's not breathing, we can't feel a pulse. And she's going, oh, put her onto the flat surface, put her onto the floor. And so we lifted her down onto the floor, and then Virginia said to the woman, she's a non-resuscitation, whatever the short abbreviation was to it. And she goes, oh, don't worry, somebody's coming, they're just about there. And the paramedic walked in with her machine, and she goes, I know you, Mum. I've been here before. And she plugged her up, and it seemed like minutes, but it was only seconds. And Pop was standing there watching it all, and for me it was a real panic situation. I think so many things were going through my mind, and the paramedic says, oh, Mum's gone. And I don't know then whether I went to ring our sister or what happened in those moments, because the fire brigade turned up too, and in between talking to our sister, they had lifted her back on the bed and made her comfortable, and come back into the room, and Dad was there, and we're all crying, and I realised moments later that at that point when she lurched forward was her passing, and for me it was, I remember getting a phone call some years earlier from Mum saying, oh, you need to get to the hospital. Dad's had a heart attack, and I'd been drinking, so I had to get Donna at the time to drive me to the hospital. And I walked into this room, and here was our Dad laid out on the gurney with the tube out of his mouth. And I was shocked at that, and I was shocked at Mum's passing, even though in the months or the weeks before, we all seen how sick she was, and it still doesn't prepare you enough for when our loved ones go, especially our parents. And I know some of our cousins have lost children in this room, so there's a healing process when we lose loved ones, and Pastor Billy was talking about staying connected. And all of us have these phones, and we're always on these phones. And I'm a real humbug for not reaching out to some of our cousins or whatever. And I apologise for that. But I was really blessed in the last couple of days just to see our nieces and nephews and the lives they're leading, what they're doing in our lives, because we're all so busy. But Mum made that time, because the conversations I had with her was, oh yeah, what's the 20 questions, Mum, quick, because I've got to get back to work. But Pastor Billy was saying the other night, because she cared, and that's why she wanted to have an interest in our lives. And sometimes we're just so quick to shut down our loved ones. We forget about who we really love. And as someone earlier said, we're really blessed to have her for 89 years. Well, we're really blessed that she found a man in Papa Cliff, and we call him Dad, and he's been with her for 30 years, and he dedicated his life to her, and we're really blessed for that, because our blended family came with 3 dads in the whole configuration of it. Sometimes it was good, and sometimes it wasn't so good. But out of it, we got a whole heap of love, unconditional love, out of our mum. So is one of the siblings, one of the uncles, grandfathers. I'm just really thankful that we have this whole family that, you know, together we can conquer all things. I'm really thankful for our Pastor Billy Lemon. He's this man of God that can help us deal with these things. I promise if you reach out, I'll respond. I won't shut these off anymore. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. Who's on there? Oh, Nelly. It's over to you, Nelly.
You hear me? Does it sound all right?
Yeah.
Pretty hard to follow all of the kōrero that's been said already. I'm also grateful for technology to be able to be part of tonight, and really thankful for those of you who have shared live videos of our family just coming together and healing and celebrating Nan's life. There's been a common theme with everyone's talks this evening, and I'm sitting here wondering how Nan ever had the time of day to do everything that she did, because it seems like she was always on the phone talking to somebody. You know, and it really warmed my heart when particularly Charlene and Shannon shared the long conversations that we would sometimes willingly participate with Nan, and then sometimes get sprung on. And it was always a roller coaster with Nan's phone chats. Could always, or not always, but in my later years, there was a bit of a pattern of the conversations that I would have with Nan. It was a mixture of the 20 questions of what was I doing, you know, what were my kids doing, what were my parents doing, what were my brothers doing, and then what was everyone else doing. And I was like, I don't know, you called me, like, I'd love to know what everyone else is doing. And then we would switch back to childhood memories, and Nan would often share things that I just couldn't recall, or, you know, was probably a bit too young to remember. And I really treasured those stories. And then we would have a full circle moment back to the present, and often have a cry, and then would end with something, you know, a joke or something like that. And yeah, it just really hit me today that at the time I probably didn't take those conversations seriously. And while I really enjoyed them, I just know now not going to have those again is really hard. Being able to come back and spend a couple of days with Nan in August was, I guess, the start of my healing journey, knowing that that was going to be probably going to be the last time I see Nan. The shock of seeing her the way that she was, I was not prepared for. just her decline in health and mobility, yeah, it really hit me hard, and it made me feel guilty to a certain extent. You know, we as a family had decided to move to Australia for what, you know, we had thought would be a better life for us and our children. And we've had that. But over the years, it's been really obvious that time with family is so important. And, you know, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time to spend with your whānau. In another 3 to 6 months, I have really just practiced the gratitude of having such a big blended family. And, you know, with Nan, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Nan. Nan had so much perspective on life. Obviously, you know, she's 89 years old. She had a way of telling me things that sometimes I didn't want to hear, and sometimes things that I really just needed to hear in that moment. And that comes from a mother's love, you know. And I just look at all of my aunties and uncles and my extended aunties and uncles and even my older cousins, and I'm just so grateful, you know, just really grateful that Nan was able to nurture our parents and bless me with such a big, beautiful family, because it's honestly going to make it easier to heal this really big void I have. And like Auntie Raywin said, you know, as we get older, and even I feel as I'm getting older, those people that we gravitate towards for strength and comfort and advice are becoming few and far between. So I'll also put my hand up to say that, you know, sometimes life gets busy, and my unread messages on, you know, all the apps is embarrassing, really. I just feel like I can't quite fit it in. But if I take a leaf out of Nan's life, it'll be to just pick up the phone and call. And yeah, I didn't think I had any tears left to cry, because I made peace that Nan is now resting. Boy, she had a heck of a life. And Pop, I know we're celebrating Nan's life, but I really just wanted to say thank you to you. I have a memory of you and Nan and Uncle Mark, I believe, at the time, when I was at a Girl Guide camp in Rotorua, and I'd found myself in a peculiar situation, and my parents weren't around to be able to be there during that time, and I didn't know it at the time, Pop, but I'm really grateful for you. I was too young to remember Papa John, and my other granddad passed away when I was 11, but you've been a stalwart for me growing up. Pop, you know, the way you loved on our Nan. One could ever only hope to have that in their lifetime. You came in and you accepted everyone. And we love you for that, Pop. And I know you told me the last time I seen you that we might not see each other again, but I promise you it won't be the last time you see me. And I just want to really thank you. And I hope you feel my gratitude and my love for you, Pop. Because you looked after our Nan so well. You treated her like a queen. And you were amazing, and I'm thankful for that. And I think I've spoken too much, so I'm not sure who else is online or who else I can pass it to. I can only see a little bit of the living room. But thank you for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Kazi.
Love you.
Love you. Krish, you want to jump on?
I don't know what to say. I just want to sit next to Paul right now. I love you, Nan. I was lucky enough to spend a lot of time with Nan. That's all I want to say, Cuzzy. I just love her. I'm sorry.
Did you say that? Too late now.
I was late.
I did the speech. They told me later that no one spoke. Anyway, kia ora whānau. Was it Auntie Donna's funeral? Man, she was very interesting. She was a very interesting Nana. I'd always have to think about what I'm going to say before I get to her house, so that I don't say too much when I get there, because she's going to like get like ask you some question, catch you off guard, and then I'll answer it, and then I'll realize I shouldn't have told her. She's very astute. She never missed a thing. Sharp as. Me, I always forget stuff, so I just had to be totally on guard. But you know, she was funny. You go to her house and or wherever she was, and she'll go from being happy to see you to asking you all the questions to crying, and then I'm like, oh my god, what am I going to say to help her stop crying? And then I just say outrageous stuff instead, just to make her laugh, and that would stop her crying. I'd start turning into a joker. But we always ended up on a good note when I'm talking to Nana. I loved her cooking. She was a really great cook. Whenever I turned up to her house, she always had something, like out of nothing. And so I was very grateful for that, because I was always hungry when I went to her house. Even when this house that she lives in, I'd stop there, like just during a break, whenever I turn up. She generally would always have oranges for me, because I love eating her oranges. But I like eating oranges with the skin, so I'll cut them up and then, eat it with the skin because it's delicious. Anyway, I went back a couple of weeks later, and she was like, "Oh, Esther, I saw how much you really enjoyed your orange, so I thought I'd eat it." I'm like, "And how did it go now?" She goes, "I almost choked to death." I says, "Nan, you've got an oxygen tank. You don't need to be eating oranges like that." Oh, she's just funny, because she just tries things anyway if you're recommending it. I didn't recommend it, but she liked the way I ate it with such, enthusiasm. She's a funny lady. Yeah, I'm gonna miss her. A couple of my workmates also got to meet her as well. I took some of them for some random visits, and so yeah, they were sad when they heard that she'd passed as well. I literally went to work. 2 days ago? I logged in, put my playlist on, listened to one amazing song, and I was like feeling the vibes. I'm like, today's a great day. And then Auntie Karen called me, and I was like, oh man, why's Auntie Karen called me? And then I'm crying at my desk. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, my nan died. Gotta go, guys. And so yeah, you will be sorely missed, Nan. I'm forever grateful for that time that we had with our family just a couple of months ago. That was so amazing. It was the reunion that we always needed, to be able to connect with each other. I mean, Val and I, we don't even drink. But I mean, I got home at 5:30 in the morning. We'd stayed up all night singing karaoke. It was quite terrible. We were quite terrible, but no one cared. And what was even funnier was that Uncle Wayne and Uncle Rob were just staring at us for ages. And we were like, Uncle, we're just terrible. They didn't care, but Uncle Rob put it all on live. Shocking. So shocking. I looked shocking ass. Krishna looked shocking ass. But Val looked fine. But, those times we were, they were the best. Hang out with the cousins and seeing my children as well, enough to connect with their cousins as well and their aunties and uncles. Like, that stuff's priceless. You'll never get that. We never had that. Like, we never had an actual reunion that we could attend growing up. And so, yeah, it's amazing. We come from a big, beautiful whānau, and there's a lot of crazies. Now, whānau, I'm not crazy. There are a lot of crazies. I forever love my uncles. I am grateful to have had them in my life growing up. And of course, my kids, to be able to get to know you, and of course they know you. They know you as one. It's just the best, When I would go up to Ruakaka, and then, there's Dad, there's you, there's sometimes Auntie Sandy would turn up, which is great, and then always having Nan there, like that stuff. I mean, we just need to just buy a huge block of land and all live together. No one said yes. What's wrong? We have amazing skills in our family. We can do so much together, and that all came from Nan as well. And I know Dad will be having the greatest time with her, Dad and Granddad John as well, and Uncle Mickey. They'll be just having the biggest laughs right now. And so I'm happy for them. And Nan she's done well. I mean, gosh, she got to 89. I think Nana Tari passed away in her 60s, so I'm very blessed to have Nan, a grandparent, last to a really great age. I would only hope that I can last that long, along with the cuz, so we can give each other lots of crap. But also getting to reconnect with the cuz, Krish, as well, was amazing. Shannon and I were talking with her when she was back here, and we were like talking, cracking up, laughing. Then I just stopped and looked at Krish. I said, "Oh my God, you're the missing piece, Shannon and me. Where you been for 20 years, man? Get back here." So yeah, it was heaps of fun, and that would have never happened. One thing that I would say, one of my favourite sayings, not from Nan, is he aha te mea nui o te ao. What is he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. So what is the most important thing in the world? It is people, it is people, it is our people, of course, our whānau. And I just had like a couple of sentences which I thought summed Nana up, and it simply is, I've had the time of my life, and I've never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. No, that's it. So Bill's saying don't do it, because if you don't know, we were sad. What was it, Father's Day or Dad's birthday? It was Dad's Memorial Day this year. We were all depressed together. Petra was here. It was at Lisa's house. We decided to have a feed, because that always cheers us up, right? And Janelle and I got this really great idea that we could. Lisa. No, Janelle. Anyway, we convinced ourselves that we could do the dirty dancing lift. Like, I could lift Janelle in the air, right? So we practiced that in Lisa's room, and it was just infamous. So we just laughed and laughed and laughed. Janelle tried to lift me. I tried to lift Janelle. I tried to lift Lee. She just smashed into me. And then I just basically smashed into Janelle, and we just had a great time. But that's what it's about, right? Making memories, having some fun together, and trying to have some laughs instead of constantly crying would be nice. I don't know who hasn't gone. Janelle? I would love to hear from Janelle. How though?
Kia ora, everyone. I'm not great at speaking in front of people, so I'll be quick. I just want to say, love Dan. Thank you for the big, beautiful family that we have. Yeah, just grateful. Grateful for all of you, and yeah, the life that we've had. Just really quickly, it's 11 o'clock, so anyone else want to round it up? Zach? Chris? Anyone else? Liz? Yeah? No, it's just really late. It's 11. Yeah? Want to say something quickly?
Praise the Lord, everybody. There's a scripture that reminds me of Nan. It's Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I've known Nan for over 30 years since I've been in church. And my conversation with Nan and my relationship with Nan for the last 30 years has been like this. How are you, Conway? Good. Oh, that's good. Okay, Nan. Okay, Conway. 30 years. Jesus Christ. The same yesterday, today, and forever. And I just want to bury the hatchet with Nan. Say, sorry, Nan, for being so. I had this mental picture of you. And all those years, I always thought you were judgmental. I always thought you were a critical person and had nothing good to say about anybody. So today, Dad, I just want to say sorry for the misconception that I might have had of you. And if I'm correct, say amen now. You know, the scripture states that children to obey your parents, that your days may be long, and that by honoring your mother and your father, that you will be guaranteed a long life. You know, back in the days, I've got friends even now today that are just praying that they make it to 50, you know, or 55 or even 60. And then I always thought in my mind that Nan was only like 67, 68, and I forgot that Pastor Peter or Brother Peter was 60, and I was like, oh man. And then when I realized, I just thought she was 94, just to realize tonight that she's actually 89 years old, and I'm like, far out. But you know, that's the blessing of God, and that's the favor of God to be able to have a long life. And my heart's desire today is that I'll still be walking with the Lord, at least after 75 years of age anyway. And when I look at you, Nan, another scripture comes to me that Joshua, when he took possession of the promised land, and after he went to go fight for the promised land, he said to the Lord, said, who will go before us? And then Joshua said, send me, Lord, I will go. And when he said that, he was 80 years of age. And he said, my strength is still the same from when I was young. And I'm thankful today that though the outward man may perish, and yet it's the Spirit of God inside of us that gives life. And we all got to stand before God today, and we can only make the best of what we know here on this earth. And I just want to encourage us tonight to just keep our eyes fixed on Jesus. And thank you, Nan, and thank you for clearing things up with me. And I'm sorry, and amen.
What's this? We're go.
Yeah.
Well, kia ora, everybody. I just want to say thank you to everyone who stood up and Let's speak about my mum. Back when we were young fellas, I always remember my mum, Mark, myself, and Paul would be outside playing, and she'd say, "Oh, I'm going down the road to get some groceries." So, yeah, right, mum, we're out playing. And then, an hour and a half later, the shops would be a good 600 metres away. And yeah, she comes trudging around the corner with all these bags, and we're playing. As soon as we see her, everybody's going, "Hey, your mum carrying these bags." So we all look up. She'd be right, carry on playing. Did it every time. Didn't drive. She just walked everywhere. She was just one in a million. Just listen to everyone talking about her and what their memories of. One of my memories was if we were going, say for instance, come from Aussie, we were in Auckland, "Oh, you landed?" She ring you. "You landed?" "Yeah, just getting a high car, mum." "All right, okay. Let me know how you're getting on." 20 minutes later, "How you getting on?" "We just got the high car, mum. We'll be on the way shortly." Okay. Don't even get to Warkworth. Ding, ding. "How you going?" "We're in Warkworth." "Okay, just ringing up to see if you guys are all right." "Okay, I'll ring you when we get to Wellsford or something." Not even 10 minutes. She had to ring you, make sure that you're safe driving. Like someone, I can't remember who said, she'd just check up on you all the time. But that was her. That was her in a nutshell. Because she worried about everyone. She worried about everyone. That was her life. That was her life. So, she'd ring me up, and say, "Oh, son, how you going? How you going?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good, mum. Yeah, you?" "Yeah, I'm worried about Mark, or yeah, I'm worried about Karen, or worried about Paul, or worried." I said, "Mum, you got to stop worrying about people. Just worry about yourself." Even till even till 2 months ago when we all come back to see it. And I must say, for me, it was really, really hard because knowing that my mum was going to pass away, it sort of eased my mind a bit. And knowing that she was going to be going, but she was still worried about everyone. Just worried. I said, "Mum, just do not worry about everyone. Worry about yourself." And my guilty thing I feel guilty about was when my mum rang me. I didn't want to speak to her because she just wanted to ring me up and say how are you, just in general conversation. But if I'm at work, if Marlene and I are traveling in the car and she'd start crying or something like that, I couldn't handle it. So I'd shut up and I'll let Marlene talk to her. And all she wanted to do, was just see how we were. And I felt really guilty. I felt 2 months ago, when I came back from, when I went back home after seeing Mum, the way she was, I rang her every bloody day. Then I started ringing her every second day and every third day. And I treasure the time I was speaking to her. It's taken me fucking 87 years or whatever. It might have taken me just to speak to my mum the way she should have been treated. And that's the guilt I feel, about a person laying there that cares about everybody. Yeah, she might have talked about it, but everybody does. We're not all perfect, but that was her. That was her in the nature. You either took her the way she was, or that's it. But yeah, she's had a hard upbringing. I didn't really want to know too much about her first. husband, yeah. Well, anyway, that's that.
You weren't asking where
No, it wasn't. And then, my dad passed away when I was reasonably young. So, and then, I heard along the grapevine, just minding my own business one day, and I heard along the grapevine that Mum had a boyfriend. What? She used to love going down the club, apparently. Maruba RSL, I think it was. She was dating a bouncer down there, Clifford Wadwell. Who the bloody hell is this guy? And I ring her up and said, "Hey, Mum, you got a boyfriend?" "Oh, yeah, son, I was going to tell you." I said, "Who is he?" "Oh, his name's Cliff." I said, "Oh, yeah, okay, when are we going to meet him?" "Oh, son, when you come over, you can meet him. But Pops, absolutely adored you, mate. Thank you very, very much for taking care of her. You know, we got frustrated with Mum, but you calmed the storm for all of us. So thank you very much. We love you to death. Just because Mum's gone, that doesn't mean you're gone, mate. You're with us forever." So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much to everyone for coming tonight, and good to see my cousins and Ian and Sam and all my nephews and nieces. It's always good to catch up. Bill and Lise, thanks very much for hosting us. Yeah, it's about you, Bill, what you said, stay connected, and I hope we all do stay connected, you know. Like Mark said, you know, he's a bad one, and I'm bad as well, cuz, you know, I was sort of crawl behind a rock and just do my shit. But anyway, that's me. But anyway, wind it up, eh? What about a song? Sarah, you guys go.
The White House first.
Song, eh?
Yeah. It was a song that you guys covered.
How did it go? Because you've sung like 50. Went like that. Just like that.
Thank you for your song.
Auntie, you got any favourites?
Want me to start?
Oh, what?
Yeah, go,
Martha.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You know one that you want?
No, you guys go. I was just joking.
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
won't be long till I'm gonna be somebody to lean on. Sometimes in our lives we don't have faith, we don't have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. We don't need wait on a shore. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna be somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If you have days, you need to sorrow. No one can feel because of the need. And you won't let go. Just call on your brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. It's not have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me. Wait on a shore. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna be somebody to lean. There's a lot of words to there is a road you have to make that you can't carry, that you can carry. I'm right up the road. Right up the road. I'll share your load. I'll share your load. If you just call me, go on your brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Oh, when you need a friend, oh, give me now, call me. Oh, when you need a friend. Yeah, let's go away.
That was the prayer.
I was just going to say that I think over the last year and a half, it's been like probably some of my best times with Nan, getting to know her and just like in a different season. And I think they were happy times for Nan as well. Wow, thank you so much for that. They're really happy times with Nan as well. Like she just shared a lot about her life, and one of the things that she said to me was how like it's so important. One thing that was most important to her was how that even our family might be blended and there might be many different like layers to it, that we just need to continue to love each other. And that was something that she valued. And, you know, when everyone came home like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, it was like, could see like just the the reflection of the love that we all have for each other. And I just felt really proud to be or belong to this family. And yeah, love you all. And so blessed to have had, you know, examples like our parents, our aunties, our uncles, and Nan as well, you know. So yeah, that's me.
Chris is just mopping.
Shush.
Prepare us for our due days tomorrow, Lord, and just ready our hearts and our minds. Strengthen us also, Lord, for our morning to come. Give you glory and give you honor today, Lord. Thank you for this special time with our family. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, that's a wrap, Kazzy. Thank you for joining. Sorry it was so long, but it was beautiful.
Bye, family. Love yous.
Everyone say bye, Chris. Bye, Sarah. Love you guys.
Bye, guys. Love you. Auntie.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you, Sarah. Love you, Sarah.
What about? No. No. I'm serious. Hang on, let me up. What do you want to do? You want to go to bed?